Who is doing the intro tonight? Me? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mixin Vixens. We've had nothing but technical difficulties tonight, and I apologize because we are missing James tremendously. With us tonight, we have the lovely Jennifer Winstead.
Hey, guys.
And we have the lovely RinVapes.
Hi, I was supposed to intro, my bad.
We also have our special guests for the month, Liana. Liana Vapin? Is that what you're going by on here? Good evening, and we have Miss Lumi Vapes. Lumi
Vapes?
Lumi Vapes? I don't know.
What? We'll call you whatever you want us to call you, Lumi. We'll just stick with Lumi, please. Okay.
I'm sorry, having to intro just made me completely discombobulated. I'm already trying to get this thing going. So, how is everyone? How was everyone's week? How was it mixing? Why am I running the show? Winstead, do your job.
Why are you running the show? Jennifer Winstead, do your job. Well, I was on vacation, kind of, sort of, but it wasn't really a vacation. It was more like work. I was taking care of my child, so I am so exhausted that my usual energetic self is still back there somewhere, but I'm coming back, y'all. So that's why you're running the show, because when I can't do it all the time.
Well, normally it's Emily. She's not here. I'm not Emily.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, you just have to recruit me to be in the background while James is busy.
I think we'll do that, Lumi. I think you're hired. Is there a fee for that? I mean, are you just,
after much consideration,
we'll send you free flavors.
Yes.
I would have worked for free, but flavors? Oh shit! I'll try extra hard now.
Yeah, you can have some Flavora.
Yeah, let's see if we can work that out. Maybe they're our sponsor, right? Lumi's running the stream, right?
No, I'm sending her Flavora flavors.
I can probably spare a bunch of shit over here too.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I can pitch in a whole bunch of stuff.
My mind is about to just get blown. I'm getting so excited.
For me, it's usually a large box because I'm just trying to get rid of stuff before it goes bad.
Yeah.
How was mixing this week, y'all?
I had a good time, although I'm not crazy about the whole coffee thing. I actually had a good time with this because my husband's a really good guinea pig because he's a coffee connoisseur. And I gave up coffee a while ago and took up tea, but he liked my second version so much, he's like, mix me up a bottle of that.
See, there you go. That's how you know you succeeded. When you make something you typically wouldn't vape and you can get somebody else to like it.
Have you started referring to him as, oh yay, guinea pig?
I did call him that a couple of times just for you. Yes. I did. I had a Lumi moment.
I rub off on people. I'm contagious.
Yeah, I can't. My husband's not a very good guinea pig. He's a jerk. He won't vape my stuff. He's like, oh, is this another one of those creamy, fruity things?
I try to call Nick all the time when I'm in this room back here, but the second I say guinea pig, I hear the chair scoot out, his headphones go down, and he comes flying. He's like, new flavor for me to test?
Aw. My husband doesn't come flying. I hear the reluctant pause, like, what am I getting up for again? But he says, if I know I'm going to have him try something he's really not crazy about, I'll go ahead and get off my butt and take it to him.
Yeah, mine only vapes strawberry, so him and my son don't like anything, nothing. But they can tell me, yeah, it kind of tastes like that, and that's good enough sometimes. That's gonna have to do sometimes, God, I'm looking at myself on the camera, and I look very shiny. Holy crap! I should have put some powder on or something.
You look luminous.
Oh, that's the look.
That's
the look.
Yeah. I mean, you could have spent $60 on a highlighter at Sephora, but you just have that natural glow.
That afterglow. I wonder what I was doing before the show.
Bitches be envy.
There you go.
All right. So You guys want to dive in? You guys want to? Who wants to go first?
I thought we were going to talk about mixing it first. You just
Let's do it. Whatever. We don't have Emily, and she's the one that has like the setup, and she knows she goes in the same order every time. I've not done it here before as the one that has the setup, so I'm all over the place, and I'm ADD. You guys really want me to run this show?
I'll run it. I'll run it.
Okay,
I'll
go
run it.
for it.
All
What
right.
are we doing now?
Jennifer, how was your experience mixing this recipe this week?
It was fun. I love butterscotch. I like coffee. I don't love coffee, but I like coffee. But I love mixing butterscotch. Don't vape it often because it's thick in my chest, but it was. I had a good time with it. It came out. I like it.
Thick in your chest.
Thick
What
in
is
my
that?
chest. Yeah. It's too much. It's like the vapor is really dense, especially with the butterscotches I like to use. I like softer, milky creams.
And that's the joys of lattes, because lattes are a creamy milk froth with a shot of espresso. So, Rin,
Yeah, but the picture, if anybody's had this authentic thing, unless any one of you guys put 10% super sweet in here, it's not authentic. Because that drink is sweet, the real thing.
Yeah, no. I wanted something that was vapeable.
Same.
I actually
So I was
didn't
like,
put
oh.
sweetener in mine either because I figured if you really want it sweet, you can add it yourself.
What you do with coffee anyway, you know, you're gonna, well, unless it's Starbucks, it's kind of you can actually customize Starbucks drinks though.
Right. And I usually drink my coffee black, no cream and no sugar.
I went with full authentic, fully sweetened. I did the deal. I had to. As my husband calls it, it's foo-foo coffee. Definitely.
what was it like mixing the coffee for you this week?
Who are you asking that to?
Liana, since she was already.
Okay. I hadn't broken into my coffee flavors yet. So I did my setting and I made sure I ordered the coffee that I was after that was smooth, that wasn't like gritty. So I went with the Brazilian. And then I had to like taste everything, and then I had to, I don't know, you know, I've only done butterscotches one other time, but it all worked out. You know, I found the right combination, and then I let it seep out, and I left town, and I came back and I tasted it and decided I need more cream. And that was it.
Rin, how was your experience mixing this week's flavor?
I got lucky because coffees, I don't like vaping coffees. I'm sensitive to a lot of them. They just all taste like crap to me, with the exception of a few. But yeah, it was fairly simple.
That's it?
That's it. Yep.
That's it?
That's what you get from me.
Jennifer Jarvis, what was your experience like?
That's a normal response right there.
I can actually taste coffee, and I can taste butterscotch. So I mixed it to taste like the actual thing because I've actually tried this. So I know how the Starbucks tends to be a little bit on the skunky side.
Ugh.
Cheater.
So mine's relatively accurate, I would say.
My experience mixing this week, it was really challenging because I too have been struggling with coffee vapes. I've been wanting to try them since I came in to mixing, but I started going with Brazilian coffee right off the bat, and I found that was too strong of a flavor. So when I was going after this, I looked up actually how to make the latte at home, and I've had one or two lattes in my day, so I was like, I'm going to go for something with coffee with my flavors. Flavors are the main note, coffee's the side note.
Yeah, I did that too.
That's
Coffee
kind of
with
what you have to do with coffee, though.
Yeah.
I think we all tend to do that. I mean, mine's not coffee heavy. It's coffee heavy. It's got coffee, but it's butterscotch and coffee.
Well, a lot of Starbucks, like more complicated drinks, aren't very heavy on the coffee anyway.
No.
Yeah, they're definitely not using too much espresso unless you ask for a double shot. They're using like a regular Pike's Place or something.
I have a hard time with that because I have to have uncaffeinated due to some heart problems. So coffee for me is a rarity, and they don't make caffeine-free espresso, unfortunately.
I thought they did.
You can do it
they
at home with decaf if you have a cappuccino or an espresso maker.
I'm pretty sure Starbucks has decaf espresso because I've asked for it before. Because I've wanted like some kind of drink that had it in it, but I'm like, oh, I don't want caffeine. I'm like, oh yeah, we can do decaf, which to me sounded like crazy, but I don't know, maybe look into it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do, but not in these bottles like the one in the picture.
No.
No, if you order it there, you can get decaf, but those things all are caffeinated.
I order at the Starbucks. It's inside my Target.
Yeah, there's a Starbucks in my Target too, plus an extra outside Starbucks outside the mall. Like it's like directly across the street.
Why do they do that? Like mine is the same way. Like it's literally like you could walk to the next one. It's like why?
I think if they want you to buy it while you're at Target, or at least think about it, and then when you're leaving and you've decided not to, and then the other one hits you on the way, and you're going to go through that drive-through.
Yeah, it's the drive-through traffic.
Man, I am the weirdo here, the person that doesn't watch Game of Thrones and doesn't buy Starbucks.
Winstead hasn't watched Game of Thrones yet either.
Don't do it.
Well, and I also am not a big Starbucks fan. I'd rather go to a real little coffee shop, with my Gen X daughter, because she's like, oh, let's go to this coffee shop. It's new in town. They got the loveliest little muffins. And so I end up having that, super expensive little cup of coffee that Starbucks is probably cheaper.
I think your daughter falls into Generation Z.
Yeah, she is. Gen Z.
Yeah.
You're right. That's what she says. Not who's Gen X?
We're Gen Xers.
Yeah. Okay. She is Gen Z.
It's like from 1960 to 1980 is Generation X.
Yeah, you definitely fall in there.
I always find it so weird when like my friends come up to me and they're like, oh, you should try out this little hole in the wall. Because I'm used to like my mother or my grandmother having this one place that they know that nobody goes to. But then when you have somebody that's actually younger than you, like every week has a new place to go to. And it's like, how did you even find this?
Yeah, they go around walking. These kids are not like the millennials. These kids go around walking, looking for these little shops and thrift stores and these little mom and pop places because they just want to give back to the community, which is great. I'm not knocking it. I just think it's so funny because she and my mother can hang out.
You will never run out of new
generations, and then they went backwards.
So what's after Generation Z then? Is it 1?
I don't know because we're still in Z.
Mutants.
Yeah, the aliens are coming.
Exactly. I need to write a book, like a guide on Lumi. We'll call it Generation Lumi and have a bunch of people running around talking about things in their intricacies and poning noobs. I'm going to create a generation.
It's beautiful.
You go for it. I'll vote on it for you. So who wants first? Here I go again, trying to throw those recipes out there. But we're at 6:26. We started late.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I will. I volunteer.
Volunteers tribute?
Yeah, I'll do it. Just because I need to get it out of the way. All right. So you got it pulled up?
It's on the screen, but I haven't set our Zoom yet. I'm getting there.
Okay. Yeah. So I did start out with a Brazilian coffee. Just reading all the notes, listening to reviews, watching Noted, doing all the noob things that, a noob has to do because I suck at single flavor testing. And my choice to pair with that and give it support and creaminess was the VT coffee latte. So I used 1% Wonder Flavors Brazilian coffee, 1.3% of the VT coffee latte, and I topped that off with 2% of VT's coffee milk froth. Came out with a nice balanced, pretty smooth, unbutterscotch coffee, and I was happy with that. And then for the smoked butterscotch, I had to wait for it to come. So I didn't actually get a hold of this flavor until Friday, and I ordered Flavora smoked butterscotch because I couldn't think of any other way to provide the smoke. I'm sure there are some in-depth, fancy ways for more experienced mixers to come up with that smoked flavor, but I didn't have it. And I've never tried this. I'm only guessing what would taste good to me if I was a consumer of Starbucks and what I would want. So I went with 0.7 smoked butterscotch from Flavora. It is, from what I understand, something that can easily get too smoky and can easily turn real ashy flavored. So I kept it low. After that, version 1 altogether, I wasn't really satisfied with it. So I looked at all my butterscotch flavors and went with 1% of Flavor West Butterscotch Ripple. Because not only did it have butterscotch, but it also had additional cream to support the latte. So it kind of worked as a nice bridge in between the two. And then I sweetened it my normal way with Nude Nicotine's monk fruit extract at 0.2% and Nude Nicotine stevia at 0.1%. And that brought it up to the sweetness that was not overly sweet like I would want a coffee. Like I dump sugar in my coffee. But it was sweet enough to be a commercialized coffee to mimic what they would have at a normal level. Then I left and went to Laughlin, let this sit here. And the coffees that already steeped out, the only thing that hadn't steeped out was the smoked butterscotch I added on Friday. And then I came back and I tasted it today. And it still wasn't creamy enough. Like it was good, but that was the recipe and the version that my husband likes, you know, and it just needed to be smoothed out overall just a little bit more. So I popped open my little tiny bag right here and put in a few drops of 1-on-1 cream milky undertone. And this is showing that I added 0.25%, and that is incorrect. And I need to correct that right now. Actually, it was 1%. And I apologize for having that wrong, people. Let me fix it. So at 1%, it smoothed out the entire recipe. And I was absolutely pleased. There, I saved it. Sorry about that. Caught a mistake. And then I threw on some comments, and it's in my recurve right now. And for a coffee vape, I like it. And that's it. That's the whole recipe.
When they search for it, they'll be able to find the corrected one anyway. So
it's okay.
Got it correctly.
It should be 1% of the 1-on-1 cream because I put quite a few drops in here. Actually, it's quite tasty.
Your recipe is not going to update on screen because I took a picture of it.
Just
so you know.
Let me send you a corrected picture. I apologize, or a corrected link.
So I like the way that you use that coffee milk froth at 2%. I find that coffee milk froth ends up steeping up and making a really heavy cream-like with very little coffee notes. How did you like that mixed with the Brazilian coffee?
I liked it. Now, if it steeps up more in the future, like, because this is only the coffee steeped out for 4 days. And being a noob, I don't know how it's going to seep out, but I figured it should be done at 4 or 5 days because I did the coffees on Wednesday. So I don't know if it's done.
It could be. I mean, the way I see it is you vape it when you like it. You know what I mean? But it'll continue. All flavors continue to steep with time, you know?
Right. So I'm really not sure. I don't know how coffees play out. This is my first coffee ever.
Sometimes they get stronger. Sometimes they tone down.
Right. And it probably did get stronger. And that's why I put a shot of cream in there because I didn't want to, revamp a whole entire recipe. So I just left the numbers where I was at. and being that the total percentage still came out low because I have a habit of being overly complex. It still came out at 7.3% total flavor, and it's yummy. Like
that's all that matters. If it's yummy, it's yummy.
it tastes like something I know that if I were to actually have a Starbucks, because I know how I've had them like years ago. It's just not something I buy. They were loaded with flavor. So if I'm going to have that same mouthful experience in a vape, I want that same mouthful experience in a vape. I'm going to make a vape batch.
Sounds good. Sounds good. The recipe looks fabulous.
Thank you. Not bad for a newbie.
Does anybody want to volunteer to go next?
I'll go. So mine's somewhat similar, I guess. I used Cafe Vanilla Cacao. I guess it's cocoa vanilla coffee. It's from Saluba, Rome. It is one of the harder flavors to get. I think Bull City Flavors has it though. I only used it at 1% because I wanted the coffee note to be fairly mild. And then I added the Vape Train coffee milk froth as well at 1% to add a little bit of froth and like creaminess to it, and maybe to boost up the coffee note. I don't know that it did. I also did a little something weird. It might seem weird to some people. I added a tobacco to it. I added a Nick River vanilla tobacco because it's a fairly non-offensive tobacco and it has a nice vanilla note, and tobacco can actually accentuate your coffee. I don't know why. I'm guessing maybe the ash note in it or something. I'm not entirely sure, but it tends to pair well. I did that 1%. And then for the butterscotch, I went fairly simple with it. I just used both Flavora butterscotches, butterscotch, just the regular one at 0.25%, and the smoked butterscotch at about 0.25% because it has that smoky note. I didn't want it to be too strong, and I figured the tobacco would add enough smokiness together. And I don't know, it's nice. It's like a nice light coffee. It's smooth, it's creamy, and there's not a whole lot of smoke to it. It's just a tiny bit, and I don't know, it's actually a coffee I would vape, which is uncommon because I don't like most coffee vapes.
Man, I love the way you use that vanilla tobacco in there.
Yeah, I tried.
I've never had that one, but that probably.
You're breaking up. Is she breaking up to anyone else?
Yeah. That sounds really good, Rin. I'm agreeing with Jen on that. That sounds that's the kind of thing I was talking about, that advanced kind of thing that someone could use a tobacco and get that ash note out of it. That was really creative, and it just sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and it would pair nicely with coffee. Just double coffee.
Absolutely.
Oh, they stopped carrying Sluberum. Well, I guess you can get it from Chef. Sorry about it. I mean, you could really use any coffee that you like in it. It's not really the important note in it.
DIY Vapor Supply maybe will have it.
They probably do.
Yeah, it looks fabulous. Did I sound robotic a few minutes ago?
You cut out completely.
Yeah, my computer shut down and came back.
Jennifer Winstead said, I love that you use tobacco. I love tobacco, and that's a great idea. That's what she said.
That's what I said?
Yeah.
And then I went out?
That's what I said that you said. Was I right?
You were absolutely right. I love the way you use that tobacco. Yeah, good guess. See, we've been doing this long enough, you know what I'm thinking.
Got it.
Got it. I don't know. I think my internet fixed itself when the whole computer, the thing shut down and came back, and I was back. I didn't have to touch anything. I did it magically.
Couldn't handle you.
It was just too much power exuding in here. I think I'll go next if that's okay. Especially while I have a good signal for a minute. Oh God. Let me look up my recipe real quick. Do I sound okay? Is my sound fine?
Yep.
And my visual? So I don't know if it's up on the screen, but I've been noticing that you've been moving things around while they're on the screen, JJ. I don't care if it's up on the screen right away or not. I can start talking about it. So I built a butterscotch. Right off the top, I saw butterscotch and I was extremely ecstatic. So I built it's my standard butterscotch is usually 3% Flavor West because I like that thick, gooey, creamy butterscotch that Flavor West provides. Um, but it wasn't just a butterscotch; it needed to be a little bit smoky. So I did the traditional smoky smoked butterscotch, but I did it at 0.75% because I did want that extra smoky note in it that will keep on getting stronger as it goes. An old trick of mine with butterscotch is to add a little bit of um where the heck Irish cream, TFA. There's no other Irish cream that does what TFA does because TFA's Irish cream has a certain amount of sweetener in it that all the other ones are a little bit too authentic where TFA is more candy like. So when I make butterscotch, I always add a hint of TFA um, Irish cream. And let me see, I used that at 0.25%. So it's not a main note, but it helps the butterscotch come up a little bit stronger, a little bit deeper, a little bit darker. I added toast vanilla ice cream. Well, let me go ahead and touch on the two coffees I used. I used Italian Relaxer, which is the cappuccino from FA, which to me is extremely sweet and creamy and light, like a very light yellow type coffee. It's not dark and it doesn't have a lot of the bitter notes. It's just like very mixed in with creams. It usually needs a long steep time, but for me, it's too sweet. But that's just me. A lot of people like sweet vapes. I just don't. I added the 0.25 dark bean espresso to it to dirty it up. Dark bean espresso has a burnt um, coffee note to it, so that adds to the smokiness of the smoked butterscotch, in my opinion. But I used that pretty low at 0.25 because I didn't want that to be the main note. I'm still using Flavor West butterscotch as the main note here. Then I wanted a light cream, but I didn't want to add any vanilla. Did I just say vanilla? I did say vanilla. And that wasn't the internet, that was me. I used cream fresh at 1% and the vanilla ice cream from FA because both of those are very light. They don't add any more to the thickness of the vape. The butterscotch is thick enough. I was trying to find creams that would bring a milk note, like a 1%, 2% milk note to it. And those are the two that I put together. Kind of like a frothy note, but I didn't want to use VTA coffee milk froth because I find that one to also be thick and creamy. So I feel like my Flavor West butterscotch at 3% is thick and creamy enough. It probably needs about 14 days steep. I did mix this before I went on vacation and it's delicious, but it still probably needs a little bit more steep because I like to steep out all that DAP. Other than that, I think it's fabulous.
Sounds really good. It sounds very, very good. Now you're all making me second guess this milk froth.
No, don't second guess it. Everybody likes different things. We all use different flavors. I mean, I just tend to like something lighter, especially using 3% Flavor West. My 3% is a lot more than anybody else I would imagine in here used. So that makes it very dense in the mouth feel department. So I needed other lighter things to go to it.
Yeah, I think the coffee milk froth was good for your coffee that you used.
I want to try the FA dark bean. I don't have that. That just sounds like the right note. Is it smooth?
It's not.
It?
It's burnt coffee and skunk coffee, like Kona coffee.
It's dark.
It's very, very dark, and you have
dark bitter coffee.
You use it low usually.
My husband would be jack it up. He gets that Death Wish coffee beans, like the crazy stuff the landlord buys him. Yeah, that's what he drinks. It's sludge. He doesn't drink coffee, so he would love that.
He calls my coffee mud, so that's how I like it.
I'd get it for my husband. I would definitely invest in that flavor. It goes on the list for my husband. For me, I'll stick to the Brazilian.
The FA cappuccino has a similar coffee note in it, but it's smoother and creamier.
and it's like way watered down. It's like
Yeah.
way watered down. But they're both smoky, so that's why I figured they were good for this. But next time I'll steal Ren's idea of adding a. Damn, I missed the
I'm
opportunity.
surprised you didn't. You of all people.
Girl, I've been mixing so many tobaccos lately that the last thing I thought of when I saw butterscotch was tobacco.
You don't want to make the switch?
Not in butterscotch. No, I don't. Oh my god, I just had a flashback. But
My husband would like the Rin's flavor also. He'd like a tobacco note in there.
Yeah, it's nice. Honestly, like if I were to just hand someone this, like you wouldn't be able to pick up the tobacco in it. Because if I can't pick it up, more than likely you're not going to. It's there, like I said, to bolster the coffee. I don't remember who initially did it. I can't take credit for it, but it's been around for a while, that little trick.
did you guys see how Phil Busardo plugged the Mixin Vixens last week?
I did.
That video of me and him. He had the Mixin Vixens flash, and I had to tell him, "You forgot Flavor Pro." But other than that, he mentioned her enough. But at the same time, I was like, "Look at that big pink logo on his screen."
Yeah, I'm jealous.
I know you are. I hope he's watching so I can tell him.
No.
Did I say it out loud?
No, stop. I already embarrassed myself once. That was my stupidity.
I didn't put it on my regular. I didn't advertise the Mixin Vixens on my regular Facebook. I didn't have time. But otherwise, I guarantee you he'd be watching, and I'd have to say, "Hey Phil, I think Rin has a crush on you."
Whatever.
Well, not like he can't come back and actually watch this episode if you send them the link.
Well, I told him to his face, so if he remembers, then he already knows. But anyway, who's next?
Who's next? She's blushing. We didn't have Emily here, so it was Rin's turn. We had to get somebody this week. Rin, tag, you're it.
Great. Love it.
Lumi and JJ, flip a coin.
I'll volunteer as tribute this time.
Sounds good.
Okay, so for this one, I was actually kind of excited for it because I've been hunting down coffee vapes since I can't really have coffee. And I bought Up not too long ago, and I was like, I know this is cereal kind of coffee vape, but I'm still willing to screw around with it. So instead of doing the Brazilian coffee, because I was just a little frustrated with it, I went with Up, and to kind of like pair it with another coffee note, I used coffee milk froth because it has that creaminess to it, and lattes do have frothed milk. So I was like, oh, okay, that works. And then a little bit of mocha, just a little bit. So I used Up at 1%, mocha by Inawera at 0.15%, and coffee milk froth at 1.78. And then I wanted to keep tackling that cream because I like coffee with my sugary creams. So I was looking at Flavora pudding and Flavora cream, and I was like, I have Wonder Flavors cream filling. And it is a vanilla cream with butter, which is exactly what a latte is. So I threw Wonder Flavors cream filling in there to get myself a kind of vanilla creamy buttery taste to it at 0.36%. And then for the butterscotch, I used smoked butterscotch by Flavora at 0.7. And I paired it with salted caramel by Flavor West at 0.5.
Oh, that salted caramel. That's delicious.
I'm actually really excited with this because I know coffee typically needs about 5 to 7 days. But when I made this last night, I pretty much just was able to shake and vape it. And then today it tastes a little bit better. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm vaping it on a handcrafted braid on the drop.
Up is actually almost shake and vape. Like it doesn't need a ton of time to steep because the coffee notes in it are a lot less than what the cappuccino or the dark bean have in it.
But it has a little bit more of a mocha note, don't you find?
A little bit more chocolate to it.
but it's delicious.
Yeah.
I bet that's really good. Do you find it to be bakery-ish, or were you able to saturate it with cream?
The cream is pretty saturating for it with a hint of coffee and as the back note, and you get the salted caramel and butterscotch. Like I just tried to imagine all of the chicks that I see walking around with like the caramel drizzle or the mocha drizzle on their coffee, and I was like, I'm nailing it. I'm doing it. I'm going for it.
There
You go, girl. I
So
bet you got it.
I'm pretty excited about this, to be honest.
It sounds really good. I don't have mocha or your FA up, but I did read about that, and that was a contender that I thought about ordering. So that looks, and with the touch of mocha, that just sounds so good.
I'm pleasantly excited and surprised with this. Like I think I couldn't vape it all night. I tried. So I needed something to vape on the side because it's a little, I like more fruity light desserts, and this is just a little strong. So I was able to vape it on and off for the night though. So that's a plus.
I bet you that flavor for you, as long as you keep it to the side, if you're ever getting vapors fatigue, that will be able to clean you. Completely different than anything that you ever vape normally.
Absolutely agree with that. I'll save mine for that.
All right.
Palate refreshment.
How about you, JJ?
Yeah, I'm getting mine up. Well, I'm the only one here that didn't go with Flavora smoked butterscotch.
We can't. All minds can't think alike.
Well, I thought about it, but I don't like it. Like, there's something in it that's funny to me, and I just like, no, I'm not going to use that because it's.
I find it tobacco-ish.
It might be a bit of a tobacco note, but there's just it's a sharp off note that I don't like. So I went with the regular butterscotch, the Flavora butterscotch. I find that to be very buttery, very smooth, and very pungent. So I dumped 1.5% of that in there. And,
can you vape that?
No.
Just
I can vape it for a little while. It's like a half an hour vape for me. The DAP that's actually in it doesn't have as heavy of acetone, so I can vape it a little bit longer. And please out. Thank you. And then I put Flavor Art butterscotch in it because I like that butterscotch. It has more of the caramel notes in it. And I wanted it to, because our caramel notes seem to be more like butterscotch rather than actual caramel. So butterscotch I liked, and it blended with the caramel in the Purillum caramel coffee with sweet milk. I felt that was going to be enough cream between that and the dappiness of Flavora's butterscotch. But I don't think the coffee note is strong enough in Purillums. Even at 5%, it's still not enough coffee. So I added 0.15% of the Flavor Art espresso. And I put WS23 in it because it's a cold drink. Oh, and Blackfire. Blackfire for the smokiness for the tobacco. Just a tiny little bit, 0.15%.
Cold.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's a big cojones, man.
Yeah.
Because coffee and
somebody did it.
That's big balls.
I always find that just WS23 by itself works well, or Polar Blast. Polar Blast, though,
how much WS23 is there in there? How much is there of WS23?
0.5%.
Wow, you got it cold.
Yeah.
Got it refrigerator cold.
Cold and smoky. You're a genius.
Well,
that was
iced.
cool. Somebody would go for that whole black fire thing. Like, I didn't have the cojones to do that. I stuck
just
with
a little bit. It's like 2 drops.
right.
So it's in a 30 mil. It's really not much. It's just a little bit, and it just adds that little layer of smoky flavoring to the butterscotch and the caramel layer. So
That's the same amount as stevia I use, just a couple drops. People talk about aftertaste, and I'm like, no, really tiny low percentages. You have sweet lips, you're happy, but I did not have the cojones to go after some Blackfire, but I was hoping somebody did so I could live and learn. Thank you for being such a master of these flavors.
Since I don't like this Flavora smoked butterscotch, I know the Blackfire at a small amount will lend that smoky note that was actually in the drink. Because I'm pretty sure it's the same flavoring molecule.
Yeah, I've been
Probably.
working with Blackfire so much, I think I'm becoming immune to it and can't taste it. I need to
Oddly enough, I haven't mixed a single recipe with Blackfire in the last 3 weeks.
let me just throw my my number one.
You would think I would be, but I've been using Perique Black more for that ashy smoky note.
Not even gonna.
I almost threw Perique Black in here, but I'm like, that's a little too ashy. I want just the smoky.
Well, Perique also has some spice of some sort. That probably gone with the coffee. Maybe it would have.
It might have blended okay. Like if I were going for more of a tobacco-y version of this, I would use Perique Black and probably a little bit of shade.
Cool. I love the way it looks. And when I saw that butterscotch from Flora, I was like, should she even vape this?
No, but Mark can. Mark can vape it.
How do you like it?
He hasn't tried it.
Okay, fair enough.
He might like it though, but it's butterscotch, and he actually prefers caramel. So I tend to mix his with
caramel.
Yeah.
So that's why I went with the Irish cream versus caramel, because with butterscotch you can go one way or the other, and I always pick Irish cream versus caramel because I'm not a caramel person.
If you wanted to turn this into a smoked caramel, I would replace both of those butterscotches with Wonder Flavors caramel butter, and then put the Blackfire in with it, just because it's going to give you more of a caramel note. I find that's more of a buttery caramel rather than a butterscotch, and it actually would work really well with the Purulum coffee because I've used that multiple times.
Nice.
I can't vape that either.
Wow.
I can't vape anything. I'm just stuck with like 5 flavors.
Yeah, I like all dap, but I like my light stuff too. So.
Are you still having tasting issues?
It's lessening. I'm actually was able to taste the coffee. I've been able to taste tobacco. I'm starting to taste fruits again. It's just coming back slightly, and I think it should level off now once we hit fall.
And then you'll have another allergy season.
Yes.
Local bee pollen.
I'm less in fall. The fall, a little bit to hay. If we go on like hay rides and stuff, I'll break out in hives and be stuffy. The goldenrod, once it starts flaking off after it's dried, bothers me a bit, but it's not as bad as it's been all year. Like this just has been a really bad pollen year. It's normally not this bad here.
I would still suggest the local bee pollen before it starts. Like start now that it's tapering off.
I already eat the local wildflower. I get it from like the farmer's market and stuff.
The honey or the pollen itself?
The honey.
The honey's helpful, but not as good. Like doing the pollen is like taking an allergy shot. Seriously, little bits and building up, and pretty soon you're not allergic to anything that's out there that flowers.
That stuff also, sometimes I found some of the local honeys actually make me break out my hands really itchy in hives, and it'll make me wheezy. So I generally try to stick with the places I know I can take.
I understand. You're ultra sensitive.
Super
you just
sensitive.
Gotta suck it up and like plow through it. Like maybe during the winter or whatever, but it really does help. I'm off all allergy medicines completely. I think you froze again, Winstead. You did. Your face is frozen.
Oh, we did have one more recipe this week.
Yep.
I'm a god. Did submit a recipe, and it looks like he also went with the Blackfire, like I did, or
nice.
they. I don't know if it's a he or a she.
It's a he.
It's a he. Okay.
My back. Yeah.
And they also did Flavor
He
Art
was all excited
Butterscotch
about getting in.
and Flavor West Butterscotch at 3%, and the Cafe Latte from Vape Train at 0.8%. Cattle and Cream from Flavor Art. Now that's a little bit different. Give you a little bit more of a spice note with some cream at 0.8%. And Cream Fresh from Flavor Art at 0.8%. Hazelnut from Flavor West at 0.6%. Super Sweet from Capella's at 0.6%. And Toasted Marshmallow from TPA at 1.2%. I would imagine the toasted marshmallow is giving you a nice blend with the Blackfire. That I contemplated doing that, but I thought it would add too much vanilla note with it. Having tried that coffee drink before, it didn't have that much for vanilla. But this looks like a really good smoked caramel version, butterscotch version. Very nice. I haven't tried Vape Train's Cafe Latte yet.
Neither have I. I don't know that I've tried any other coffees yet. Well, the coffee milk froth, but I don't know if that counts.
He used all the thickeners. He used the Flavor West hazelnut, toasted marshmallow, the butterscotch. Woo! This is gonna be a thick. It's probably pretty authentic to the thing. You know how when you drink those drinks from they're refrigerated Starbucks, they're like thick going down. This is probably a pretty thick recipe. Thank you so much for adding that recipe. This is Samuel Thurston, is the real name of the person of Omer God. And he's the one that played along. He's in our group.
I thought Emily was going to submit one.
She did.
She told me that she was. Okay.
Hold on.
She said, tear it up. And I quote, they are going to tear my recipe up. And I said, okay, I won't.
And we are.
Where was it? Did I not see it in there?
It's in
I'll post it.
Okay.
Hang on, let me pull it up.
And I thought his name is pronounced Emma God.
Oh, she cheated.
She totally cheated.
Hang on, I'll get it on screen. Save.
I thought about adding the Holy Grail vanilla or what the Holy RY4 because I think that would have went well in it too. But with it changing, and I don't know which version I have, I didn't want to do that.
Let's see, Emily's recipe.
Because I bought it like right when they moved over to the new one, and when I messaged them, like she really didn't answer my question, so I'm like, whatever, I'll just get it.
You would have been safe with either one of them.
I'd still like to know which one it is. So I'm like, okay, is this good, or is it?
Is it up on the screen?
Yep, I put it up. It's up now.
Come on, Emily. So you're not here. So we gotta get you.
She kind of went the same direction I did with 5% Pure Elm's caramel coffee. She used some Flavor's smoked butterscotch, 1.5%. Flavor West butterscotch, 2%, and Flavor Art at 1.5%.
Yep. And she just went totally simple. I bet you it's delicious.
Oh, yeah.
I already don't like her because it's 4 ingredients, and I bet you it's simple and good.
Probably.
But she doesn't have a whole lot of coffee in here.
It's going to be a lot lighter on the coffee than the actual thing. But if you like smoother, lighter coffees, then that's the kind of mix you want to go for.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and she doesn't like coffee vapes either, I don't think. She still cheated.
I haven't tried the Perillium caramel coffee with sweet milk. It sounds absolutely delightful and covers like so much of what this recipe needs. It sounds good.
Yeah, it's totally a shake and vape. Like, it doesn't really need steep time. It does get smoother as it steeps and thicker, but it's very light on the coffee. It's like a nice, smooth, light coffee.
And she also used the Flavor West butterscotch at that 2%, which makes it just a short steep. She didn't go 3 and up like I did. After 3, you need at least 7 days.
Right. I don't even know if I got my steep time right. To be honest with you guys, I'm like such a noob. I'm just reading off notes and I have very little experience in this. So I just guessed that it needed 5 days.
That's okay. And if it tastes good at 5 days, it tastes good. That's your steep time.
Watch it go crazy in 2 weeks.
Well, lady, let's see. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
Nope.
No,
So
I'm good. We will have a show tonight, me and Jen, in a half an hour. Yep, on the Flavor Pro channel.
Yep. And let's see. Let's go down the list of our sponsors. So we have Full City Flavors. You can find they're really quick with shipping. They're great. They help us out every month, and they love the community. They've been great to all of us. ECX, and there's a little surprise coming from the Mixin Vixens soon on ECX, and they've got some new jungle flavors, right, Ren?
Yes, ma'am. Churro, cookie butters, some other stuff I can't remember, but what I've tried is good.
And we'd like to thank Wayne for having us on his network. And did I forget anybody?
All the flavors?
Sure I did, because it was 3. All the flavors, that's right. All the flavors. Lavora. Anybody else can think? It Rin's the outro, but I made her intro and then she forgot, and then Jennifer introed, so I'm still
I didn't forget. I didn't know we were live. I was trying to plug in all of our I was trying to plug the YouTube, spam the link because I didn't even know that was done. So I'm sorry.
That's okay. I like to irritate you, see? Nobody else fights with me other than you, Rin. Nobody.
Over there with your low bandwidth.
I wonder if I'll freeze on the camera like this. Oh shit, my dog just scared the crap out of me.
See? Payback.
She wants to go out. All right, ladies, it was fun. Do we have next week's picture to show?
We'll post it on the Facebook if we
We'll
don't.
definitely post it on the Facebook tonight. We won't forget. I will post it on there in the next couple of minutes. That way we don't have to try to figure out how to put it on here, because it's all James's fault that all these things happen because he's used to doing this. But Lumi has volunteered, so she'll get us ready for next week.
Okay, it is on the screen now.
Oh, it's on the screen.
Although
that's the first week.
No, hang on. I scooched it up. It's just because I threw the whole her whole calendar in there.
I was about to be like, don't make me do that one again.
No, next week is the
more red.
Yes.
There we go.
It's all red.
Ooh. Big fat red fat boy.
Some sort of red Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's just the Kool-Aid symbol. That doesn't mean it has to be a red Kool-Aid.
However you interpret it, we'll take it.
Right, because I went to the store and I looked at all the Kool-Aids, and all of them, that's his trademark. They're all red, but it doesn't have to be a red Kool-Aid, in my opinion.
Well, if you're colorblind, it ain't going to be red anyway, so go that route too.
Green.
So pretty much any Kool-Aid is acceptable.
I already have a plan.
Yeah, I've got Kool-Aid downstairs.
I have 2 packages to sample.
Yeah, I guess we could put them in the background of a color and decide which color Kool-Aid we want.
I got the squeezy water drop Kool-Aids.
There you go.
So thank you for joining us, folks. We will go ahead and head out now because we're back to awkward silence.
My favorite time.
Well, I froze again.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Trying to end the stream. I'm getting there.